Hello again, and welcome back to another hot summer, not even summer, it's autumn now, day in Hong Kong, lunchtime. Let me just turn this around so you can see the world. Yeah, tropical and hot. Now, today I'm just keeping up with the idea of doing more of these videos at lunchtime. Sorry, I'm just looking around again to see whether I'm annoying anybody. I'm just listening to a podcast on a book by Nick Majuli, and it's all about the levels of wealth, and it's this idea that different levels of wealth require different behaviour. Now, I'm not very far into this podcast, but a few things kind of jumped out at me in relation to not just your money, but also your career. So one thing is this idea that people kind of don't necessarily spend in line with their level of wealth. So they kind of focus more on their salary, how much they're earning, but they don't necessarily align their spending with their overall net worth. So to put it another way, you could be earning, I don't know, $100,000 a year, decent salary, $100,000 a year, and on a night out, you might spend, for example, I don't know, $5,000. That's a hell of a lot, okay? Let's not call it a night out, let's call it a holiday. Still a lot of money. Now, if you have no money saved, that $5,000 is a big chunk of change, a lot of money. However, if you are still earning that 100,000, but you have $1 million, for example, $1 million in net worth, so investments, stocks, shares, bonds, whatever, and it's worth $1 million. In a bigger scheme of things, that $5,000, while it's still a lot, isn't actually that much in the context of your overall wealth. And I think it's very important for people to start thinking in terms of their spending patterns relative to their wealth rather than to the salary. Because at the end of the day, if that salary disappears tomorrow, and yes, you wouldn't necessarily be spending $5,000 for the next holiday if you lost your job, but if that salary disappeared and you've just spent that $5,000, if you've got a net worth of $1 million, it might hurt you a bit, but it's not going to hurt you a lot in the bigger scheme of things. But if you have very little in net worth, if your net worth is only $20,000 and you spent $5,000 on a holiday, then proportionally that is a big chunk of change. So it's very important to think, I guess, in terms of what impact that will have more broadly on your wealth picture. That's really what I've got to say today. Things change. It's important to keep your finances up to date. And just a short one today. Bye for now.